Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, Blue Origin adopts second crewed New Shepard rocket. FAI World Canopy Piloting Championship goes to Curt Bartholemew. World War I replica pilot lost in Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome airshow. Welcome to Airborne-Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Blue Origin adopts second crewed New Shepard rocket. Blue Origin plans to debut its second human-rated vehicle on the upcoming NS-27 launch. This intends to expand flight capacity alongside increasing customer demand. The new crew capsule, designated RSS Kármán line, features upgrades to the vehicle's performance, durability, livery, and payload accommodation. It utilizes Blue Origin's new NS-5 booster, a crew-rated propulsion module for the New Shepard rocket. NS-27 will be responsible for 5 payloads on its booster and 7 in its crew capsule, including 2 LiDAR sensors, ultra-wideband proximity operation sensors, and a Space Manic commercial payload. The mission will also bring up tens of thousands of student-designed postcards from Club for the Future. As stated by Blue Origin, New Shepard, quote, remains one of the most sustainable rockets ever to fly to space. Nearly 99% of New Shepard's dry mass is reused, including the booster, capsule, engine, landing gear, and parachutes, end quote. The rocket honors the legacy of astronaut Alan Shepard, the first American in space. New Shepard is a reusable suborbital rocket intended for commercial spaceflight. The 11-minute mission allows astronauts to launch past the Kármán line, which is the internationally recognized boundary of space. The rocket is designed to be fully autonomous, requiring no pilots on board. It's powered by Blue Origin's BE-3 PM engine. After the break, free flight legend Bill Moyes goes west at 92.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/rusty today for details.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Free flight legend Bill Moyes goes west at 92. Bill Moyes, a record-setting hang glider pilot and entrepreneur, has gone west. He was a legend in free flight and is known to be one of the founding fathers of hang gliding. His family announced his death on social media, stating, quote, Bill Moyes passed peacefully away this evening surrounded by his loving wife of 73 years, kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids, end quote. His company became one of the leading hang glider manufacturers for over 50 years. FAA gives United the all-clear. After nearly 7 months, the FAA has put an end to its period of increased oversight on United Airlines. The agency found no significant red flags in its safety review. The FAA opened a review of United Airlines in March following a chain of concerning incidents. In February, a faulty actuator caused rudder pedals to jam on one of the carrier's Boeing 737s. Then on March 15th, a United Boeing 737-800 flight shut an external panel while traveling from San Francisco to Rogue Valley, among other issues. FAA issues flight training rule easing logging time. The FAA has published a rule that's been long awaited by pilots, instructors, and flight schools that eases restrictions on transition training and other specialized instruction in experimental, primary, and limited category aircraft. It amends regulations for experimental aircraft to permit certain flight training, testing, and checking in the aircraft without having a letter of deviation authority. Recent rulemaking extends the rescission of the LOTA requirement to limited, primary, and experimental light sport aircraft categories. It also revises amendments related to logging recent flight experience, instructor privileges, and related prohibitions on conducting such activities for hire. F-22 Raptor makes another precautionary landing. On September 18th, an F-22A Raptor executed a precautionary landing at Okinawa's Kadena Air Base. Though the aircraft was able to touch down safely, this occurrence is cause for concern as it marks the base's second mishap in just 2 weeks. The aircraft landed at 9:45 a.m. Emergency services were already on site and left less than half an hour later after checking for runway damage. The Raptor is temporarily deployed to the base while the 18th Air Wing works to phase out its legacy F-16C and D Eagle fleet. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. FAI World Canopy Piloting Championship goes to Curt Bartholemew. The recent 10th World Air Sports Federation World Canopy Piloting Championships and 4th FAI World Canopy Piloting Freestyle in Pretoria, South Africa, featured an intense competition and challenging weather. But the USA's Curt Bartholemew's superior skills in accuracy, speed, and distance earned him the top spot on the podium overall to garner another gold medal. The vice champion was Abdulbari Kwabazi of UAE for his results in the accuracy segment, and taking the bronze was Argentina's Marcos Darman. Bartholomew has won numerous world champion titles throughout his career, and he also took the silver in the 4th FAI freestyle competition while his teammate Justin Price claimed the gold. Spain's Pablo Hernandez Mol took the bronze medal. Bartholomew said in an Instagram post, quote, "It was a crazy roller coaster of a competition. My flying was really strong. I had one major hiccup in distance with one of the best saves of my career. I won silver in each individual event, some by the closest margins I've ever seen. I kept my head down and focused on winning the championships. Congrats to each of the podium finishers." End quote. The UAE won the overall national championship out of the 19 countries competing, finishing ahead of France and Australia in the Canopy Piloting Championship. The winning nation in the Canopy Piloting Freestyle Championship was the USA. After these messages, World War I replica pilot lost in Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome airshow.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
I grew up in an aviation family. My dad flew airplanes and flew air shows actually, so ever since I was 3 years old, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was be an air show pilot. It's cliche, but I get to live my dream every single day. I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, the new aerobatic propeller. It's increased the performance of the airplane. It's made the harmonics balance throughout the airplane so much better. By far the best aerobatic propeller that I've ever flown behind.
The legendary BD-4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD-4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD-4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. World War I replica pilot lost in Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome airshow. On October 5th, longtime volunteer and board member Brian Coughlin crashed in his Fokker D-VIII replica. The fatal accident occurred during Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome's weekly airshow. The airshow kicked off at around 2:30 p.m. Just 15 minutes later, the Aerodrome's World War I Fokker D-VIII replica crashed into the woods off the south end of the runway. It burst into flames and killed esteemed aerodrome volunteer Brian Coughlin, age 60, of New York. Dutchess County Emergency Response received multiple calls about the accident, dispatching officers to the site on Norton Road just before 3 p.m. Firefighters from the Red Hook and Milan fire departments responded and were able to extinguish the fire within an hour. Corey Beitler, a witness of the event, said, quote, "Though I only knew Brian through passing conversations at the aerodrome during my yearly visits, he was always friendly and said hello. I know he was a dedicated board member, volunteer, and pilot at the museum, and was a major advocate for some of the additions to the aircraft collection and improvements to the infrastructure at the museum the last few years." End quote. This marks the respected aerodrome's second plane crash this year. During the July 28th airshow, a mid-air collision forced one plane to crash nearby, with the other able to return to the runway safely. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.